reactions, raise your hand. Perfect. Now you're at the top. Okay, here's
Oh
what we're going
God.
to do.
That was the funniest thing that happened to me today. I was raising my head. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
You're good, man. That's why we have this structure. So look, my name is Kendrick Davis. I'm the professor here at the University of California, Riverside. I wasn't going to introduce myself first, but I'll do that. So this program that we're running right here is called Crypto Ready. We're out of California. The whole idea with what we're doing this evening is many of these students who I work with are doctoral students, master's students, and then seniors as undergraduate students. We started a program to use crypto to both inform people about it, because there's a lot of misinformation, to also educate people. But because we're at a medical school, so the whole intention behind what we're doing is, a lot of folks don't realize that crypto is not just for investing. And there's a wonderful, you could hear the dialogue between Ahmed and Matthew about investing. But the wild thing about it is Matthew has started an innovative company that literally underscores terminology like use case. That's literally the epitome of what the functionality of crypto could be. If you think about both green planets and then healthy people, crypto offers solutions that are innovative solutions that people haven't tapped into. So this is just the beginning of an interview for us to start to explore what Matt has done with his wonderful innovation. My team has questions to ask. What we'll be doing is asking all of you to write in the chat where you're from. If there's any questions that come up along the course of this interview where you might want to ask, and it could be things that might go into Matt's next AMA, ask me anything, then we'll collect all that data for Matt and his team, give them that information. We're also recording this event. So for any of your friends or anyone else who couldn't make it, we'll make sure that they get this recording and it's available to them. So without me
when would you publish it? Just so I know. When are you going to publish it? The recording?
What we'll do is we'll download the video and give it to you guys by early next week.
Okay, beautiful.
So what I wanted to do is, with all of the events that I run as a professor here at the university, we start with an honoring of the land that we're on and the culture that has given rise to our offering to even be here. And so without me saying any more, Margarita, would you please read the land acknowledgement?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. And I will go ahead and read the land acknowledgement. We at UCR would like to respectfully acknowledge and recognize our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Kaluga, the Tonva, the Lusueño, and Serrano peoples, and all of their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, this meeting takes home to many Indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marga. And so, as I stated before, the program that we're leading is called Crypto Ready. The READY stands for Research, Education to Entrepreneurs, Decipher Crypto Data for Investment. And we mean investing not just in terms of course, exchanging cryptos. We mean investing into careers, investing into your community. And so what you'll hear from now is Margarita and I are going to give you a sense of how crypto has kind of evolved before we get into Matt's interview, because that'll be the bulk of this. So this will take about 2 minutes. We're going to read a few headlines, and then we'll get started with Matt sharing his story and answering a few questions from our panel.
Amazing. Let's do it.
Marga?
Yes, the first headline is 2013 Year of Bitcoin, says Forbes magazine.
Second headline, 2014, Overstock.com partners with Coinbase and starts accepting Bitcoin as payment. TechCrunch.
2017, big business giants from Microsoft to JP Morgan are getting behind Ethereum, Forbes magazine.
2019, Facebook launches a new cryptocurrency called Libra, and I know that it does not exist anymore. CNBC.
2021, El Salvador just became the first country to accept Bitcoin as a legal tender, NPR.
2021, 5 leading health-based cryptocurrencies, how they work. Tech Times.
2021, cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology in healthcare, PCN.
2021, blockchain, health disparities, and global health. BMJ Journals, BMJ Innovations.
2021, crypto energy cryptos, crypto slate.
And finally, 2021 e-charge, integrating cryptocurrencies with electric vehicles. News, BTC. At this time, what we would do is like to, and you guys think about what we just showed you. If you've been paying attention to how the media portrays crypto versus what's really happening in the world, it's a right now, somewhere around $7 trillion industry. It ain't going nowhere. And so let's get into talking to Matt about his experiences with crypto. Matt, what I want to start off with is just asking you to please share your story about getting into crypto. And in particular, how does your company see using cryptocurrency to benefit communities in need?
It's very simple. I got into crypto because I felt that it was a place where I could actually express myself without anybody controlling whatever I create. So it's a space, it's like a sandbox. You can do whatever you want. Also, as well, there's ways of doing it. And I felt that it was a chance for me to be part of this world and grow into it. And I was always the guy, ever since I was a kid, that was different. People used to walk like that. I used to find ways to walk better, and currently cryptocurrency is the only way for me to express what I truly feel inside of me.
I love that answer, brother. So the second part of the question, out of curiosity, is how do you see your company and then even larger cryptocurrency benefiting communities in need?
What's cool about our company is that it allows people that is part of the project to invest in their own infrastructure and not be at the mercy of the big tech giants. So anyone that wants to purchase a charger, anyone that wants to purchase a supercharger, they don't have to apply and have the credit and the funds, to have a price that only big companies pay for. Like, we give cost price to people that want to invest for it. I can't hear you, by the way. You're muted. We give cost price to anybody that wants to invest. And like Ahmed, he's starting a project with Alex, okay? And they came to me and they told me, hey, we want to start installing in New York. So what I did is I gave them all the price lists from ABB and our suppliers. Say, hey, these are the prices. If you need anything, let me know. And for them, they're even nice enough to let us put our software in their chargers so that our community, our token can benefit from the infrastructure they install. So that's pretty much how I see it. That we're helping is because we're allowing people from all over the world, even in third world countries, to access Class A hardware.
That's awesome. No, that was a great answer too. And I won't be asking any more questions. These brilliant doctoral students, master students, undergrads will be doing so. The only other thing that I want to tell the audience, and Matt, thank you so far, this is already flowing. We'll be asking poll questions periodically that'll just pop up on your screen. Please do us the honor of answering those really quickly. We'll pause for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then we'll continue. And so, Marga, did you want to send a couple of poll questions at this time?
Kendrick, I don't want to interrupt you, but you have until my boarding, and I board at 9 a.m. So you have until 9 a.m. here if you want to.
Is that 5? Is that 5 here or?
What was the time of the start of your interview?
4.
And your 4? It's about 6. Your time.
Oh, you have 3 hours.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Okay, so look, we might go over a little bit, family, because Matt is that darn generous. I love it. I love it. So I don't know if it's time to ask a poll question. I know that our first doctoral candidate, Edward, has a couple of questions to pose one at a time. And so I'm going to mute myself. Madiga, you can decide when the poll questions come up because we do have plenty of time.
Thank you, Dr. Davis.
Right. Yeah. So no poll questions currently?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Davis, and thank you, Matt, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and educate our communities. My name is Edward Vizcarra, and I am a fifth-year PhD candidate in the biomedical science program here at UCR. So for my first question that I have for you, what are some good and reliable resources that the general public can use to learn about cryptocurrencies?
I think the first thing that if you want to get into something, you should start by learning the terms, the words, the slangs. And as I said before the interview started, on CoinMarketCap, there's a glossary that has all, it's like a dictionary pretty much, that has all the words and their what it is, their definition. I think the best place to start is there. Then second step, if you want, it depends. You should choose what you want to learn first. Do you want to learn the altcoins? Do you want to learn the NFTs? You should like guide yourself. What you like, which one you prefer. Are you more like an art person? You prefer NFTs, visual stuff? NFTs, they're smart contracts. They're a little bit like tokens, but it's visual. So they could take value, they can lose value. It's speculative. But I think that first you need to understand the terms, and then you have to start exploring and see what do you like, what do you don't like. Some people don't like trading. They hate it. Okay. And some people prefer collecting NFTs. They feel like they're building a collection of something that will eventually gain value. And for them, it's a hobby, or they can earn income like people trading hockey cards. Some people don't understand it. Some people, it's their life. So I say you have to go with first the glossary, you understand the terms, then figure out what you like. And then the third step would be applying what you learned, and trying with very, very minimal risk. Then when you start getting good at it, you're gonna feel more confident, of course. You're gonna go and buy the new NFT drop, whatever comes out. You're gonna start understanding the networks, how the Binance Smart Chain or the Ethereum networks work, how they have different subsidiaries. So yeah, I guess you just have to start exploring. Nobody's forcing you to buy anything, so you can really, you're behind your computer, so you're not in a store trying to learn. You could just, the internet is at your fingertips. You can write on Google or on YouTube how to buy a token on PancakeSwap, how to buy, how to make a Binance account, how to make a Coinbase account, for example. And I think that's the only way to learn. You have to really get into it. Don't be afraid of it. Crypto is like, it's part of our lives now. So it's like when before people used to be afraid of paying with PayPal. Now nobody's afraid of paying with PayPal because they understand the flow of things. And it's the same thing with crypto. At some point, it will reach mass adoption. Right now, we would say about 5-6% of the world adopted crypto, which is, there's a huge runway to go still. So I think that's my answer, honestly.
Great. No, that's perfect. A lot of good resources in there. Thank you. And then my second question, how can we protect ourselves from getting scammed when it comes to investing and using different platforms to buy crypto?
I think the best way to protect yourself, first, if you're going to invest in, let's say, a coin, okay, there's a list that I created actually to help a friend because he wanted to start investing. I told him first you have to look at what does the project do? Is it just like a donkey animal thing where, it's pretty random? It's like a copy of something, just to make money. The second thing you have to check, is the liquidity locked or unlocked? If it's not locked, you have to figure out why. Is it because they have an app and they're using the liquidity to do market making so they can adapt to the app? The third thing is, who's the team? Now, I know that at first, we were private, but we didn't stay private for a long time, like a month or two. Then I got doxxed. I did KYC. Pretty much everyone on the team is doxxed as well. And right from that moment, I decided that it was very important for me, and it took a big space in my life. And I said, I'm gonna go all the way with everyone, and I'm gonna build this thing, and I'm gonna grow it, and I'm gonna make it a very, very successful and quality app where it will help people, actually, not just like one of the many apps out there. And so that's for the docs teams and the utility behind it. So you have to check if there's a utility and it's interesting. Fifth and sixth, look at the wallets that own the crypto. If it's more than 10%, ask yourself some questions. And then if they haven't burned yet, or it's more than 10%, but there's steps that will reduce that percentage supply, then fine. And also check if the developer's wallet are making transactions That's also, I mean, the big wallets. Because sometimes in the contracts, how it works, the new contracts, people are developing so that they get the developer fee, the marketing fee, everything separated. So the contract will sell and buy regarding that. So you have to make sure to check the deployer version in the read contract section on BSC scan or Ether scan, and make sure that there's that little thing out there like rewards, BNB, or usually marketing, when it says marketing wallet, a developer wallet, it has that. So that means that the team doesn't have to sell anything in order to raise funds. Everything's automatic. Marketing, check their marketing, their pages. If it's a lot of people are supporting, there's a lot of interviews on YouTube, or it's just something out of the blue that just came out. Other than that, I would say don't invest what you can not afford to lose. And if you don't understand what you're doing, think of it as a casino. You're just gambling. So if you want to gamble, I mean, look, there's a lot of these coins out there that I'd say 80% of them are all scams, okay? Especially now with many coming out every day. The ones that people opt to invest in with trust is the one that's been out there for more than 6 months and are, you know, constantly developing, growing their technology and infrastructure. And yeah, so that brings me to the last point. How long has it been since it was created? I mean, anybody could jump on a project after 6 months and the project is growing slowly. So they know that, let's say in a year, they might have doubled or tripled their money. But anything that does 300% or 500% in a day, for me, it's a high risk. It's not worth the gamble, because when you think about it, the people that got in super early, let's say if somebody put $10,000, he's at $50,000 now, you know, so he's going to be tempted to sell. So that's something that could make the price crash for some tokens. What's interesting is that you could have that, but also look into if they have an anti-whale function. What that does is the people that have, let's say, more than a certain amount of money or tokens worth a lot, you know, the whales, they can't sell more than like 1 BNB a day or less than that. So those little things, I'll make a list, I'll send it to everyone so that they could, I'm not sure if everyone followed me, but also there's a question Franco said, oh no, it's not a question, it's actually saying if someone you don't know randomly sends you a message, never give any information or click any links. That's true, because there's a lot of scammers that will copy our page or our Telegram, and they'll send you a phishing link. What that does is once you click on it, it's like if it asks you if you want to connect your wallet, and then some people, they just click yes, you know, they forget. But what that does is you're giving them all the permission. It's like when you're swapping on PancakeSwap, it asks you, you're giving them all the permission to your wallet so they could just take everything out, transfer everything out, then you lose all your funds and we can't do anything for you. Because imagine if everyone that gets scammed by someone because they're clicking any random link that gets sent to them is asking to get their money back. I mean, we're not gonna have any more, nothing to for the project, for the growth. So, you know, the only thing we could do is prevent, you know.
Thank you
Those
for
were
that
great
wisdom.
answers.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
May I ask this family, would everyone please mute other than Matt and whoever is asking questions, because there's background noise that makes it a little more difficult to hear. This has been wonderful. Matt, thank you. You're doing a great job. Great questions, Edward.
Yes, and at this time, we invite you all to participate on a poll we have for you. We would love to get your responses.
Do I have to answer that?
Yes, if everyone can answer, it would be greatly appreciated.
Even you, even though you're an expert, Matt, I know your expert opinion is still very valuable.
Can I say something? I want to like say the question and answer it without clicking. I want to speak it so people could have my answer of it. Investing in cryptocurrency is safe, ? And then it says, very untrue of what I believe, untrue of what I believe, true, very true of what I believe. So basically from true to untrue. I think that investing in cryptocurrency is safe if you know what you're doing. because you know exactly where to put your money, where on which exchange. Because in crypto, the problem is everybody's responsible for what they do. Let's say you send your tokens to the contract address. I mean, I'm sorry, but we can't do anything for you. It's that's the power of it's decentralized, you know. Otherwise, it would not be crypto. It would be centralized. It would be a bank or whatever. So people have to understand that whatever you're doing, you're responsible. Even if you send 500 BNBs to a wallet, random wallet that you don't have access to, I'm sorry, but you're done. You know, you lost the 500 BNB. There's no customer service that you can contact and say, hey, I need my money back. Unless you sent it to one of your wallets on an exchange and you sent it, let's say, on the wrong network or whatever, they could help you find it back. But if you send it to completely random wallet, then I'm sorry, you can't. And that's why everybody that gets into crypto should understand this before getting into it. They should be aware that they have to be responsible and not just send random amounts of tokens or BNB or Ethereum to an address that claims that they will double your money, you know? So yeah, that's my answer.
Monica, go ahead. It's your questions now, sweetheart.
Thank you, Matt. And my question for you is, do you personally know of women CEOs in crypto? And do you think that space promotes an equal playing field for individuals regardless of gender?
Julia Rosberg. She's the founder of Orca. Basically, it's based on Ethereum. They create softwares around crypto. That's the only one I could think of, to be honest.
Thank you, Matt. And my second question to you is, what are some resources you utilize to familiarize/educate yourself on crypto and blockchain technology?
Sorry, can you come again?
Yes.
Can you say?
My second question is, what are some resources you utilize to familiarize yourself on crypto and blockchain technology before the start of EVDC?
Honestly, I'm a very, very self-taught person. So I went with everything that was available on the internet. I had a software company before, so I understand the flow of things. Now, I know that cryptocurrency is based on Solidity. So that's the framework. And it's a language like any other language, like HTML, C++, Python, Swift 3, Android, Java. It's just that but for crypto. So for me, it was just getting around the things, understanding it. And then of course, I've had people join the team that helped me also. I really believe that in order to create something great, you need to have a strong team around you. You cannot do everything. It can never be a one-man show. It's impossible. You know, everybody looks at, let's say, Elon Musk, and they give him all the credit for creating Tesla. But Elon Musk, what he did, he created Tesla. He hired the proper people, that hired people, and then, you know, they have engineers, they have customer service, they have salespeople, they have people that will assist you at your delivery. They have people that work in the factories. They have marketing people. You know, like it has to be a formula and has to be good, and then you have to scale it city to city, country to country. That's how it becomes Tesla as a big company. And also they went public, so they had a lot of funding. So everybody's pointing fingers at him like, oh, he created Tesla, but no, he didn't create Tesla. He started Tesla. Tesla got created because the people the engineers that they hired were very talented. I don't know if people know that, but did you know that the screen in the Tesla is made on Linux, which is like Windows and the OS X from Mac, but it's open source. So anyone can go ahead and create a car and create an infotainment a little bit like Tesla. And pretty much it's a computer running on Linux and running an interface that they created. So the same guys that created the interface in the Tesla, they could be working on softwares for other applications or other stuff. It's all the same surrounding. So the dots all get back to the same point. So if you know the basics, you'll be able to do just fine. Now, for me personally, I knew my things around because I had my other app for traveling, where you could book a flight, hotel, car rental. So I knew my way around apps, and I just pretty much I wanted to be involved in the crypto world and the electric car world. I wanted to be involved in the charging infrastructure world. So that's why I started it. I had a burning desire to be part of it. I missed I missed the start of it because I was too young. It was like 10 years ago when it started. But I'm actually happy that I missed it, because all those companies that installed hardware from 10 years ago till now, they all installed mostly slow hardware. So they invested on the infrastructure. Now you want to update them. They're all 50 kilowatt superchargers, and now you want to put 350. You have to change the transformers. You have to change the whole. You have to get new permits. There's a lot of stuff that I would have wasted funds on, and now that I see it installed, I can go around it and put the better product out there. I mean, I don't think there's going to be much more than 500 kilowatt, because at that point it becomes very dangerous. So I think a peak of 350 is pretty affordable, and I think people will be happy to charge in less than 20 minutes. You plug in your car, you go to the washroom, you have a little bite, you plug out, you leave, that's it.
Thank you so much, Matt, for your amazing responses. And at this time, we'll go ahead and launch the second poll question.
Perfect. Can I answer that question live as well?
Yes.
So investing in crypto can be lucrative, very untrue, true, and very true. I think that investing in anything can be very lucrative if you know what you're doing and you're getting in at the right time. I mean, in terms of profit, anything can be lucrative. As I said, it's really, you have to know what you're doing. As much as it could be lucrative, it could be not lucrative. You could get scammed, you can lose your funds, you get a bunch of not very nice endings. So I would say yes and no. It's true and it's not true, because you have to know what you're doing. It's a little like stocks. You could invest in let's say, sorry, I'm going to take the Tesla example. You can invest in Tesla when the stock price was $100 and now it's $1,000, and you've invested, let's say, $10,000. So now you have a profit of 90 grand, 90,000. But let's say tomorrow morning, Elon Musk unload 25% of his stock, then everybody follows, then you made $90,000 on paper, but unless the order gets confirmed of you selling your holdings, you didn't make nothing. And then the price goes back down to 100, and then you're just breaking even 100, 110, 120. So it depends on you if you're selling at the right time. And in order for that to happen, I think that many investors currently are lost investors. I like to call it lost investors, because they put an order in, they don't put a take profit limit or a stop loss limit. So let's say if a coin is at $1, when they're investing, they're allowed to put a take profit, let's say at $3 or $10, so that once it goes there, it takes the profit for them automatically. But the problem is they're lost because of their greed. They want more. From $1 to $10, they want to cash out 20. They want to have the freedom to leave whenever they want. But the issue is sometimes they miss the train, and then it goes up and down, and then they lost that profit they could have taken. So I would say for projects that, there's a big spike, like let's say 5% or 500% overnight, I would say, this is my advice. I would say take what you put out and leave, and a bit more, and leave the rest. Now, in projects like ours, we make sure that every move that we make is very calculated, so that we don't have 10,000 investors that join overnight and then the price just spikes, because we're aligning for a listing for an exchange listing soon, and we need to make sure that our token or our cryptocurrency on both sides is a bit stable. Otherwise, it's seen as a very speculative asset and it could be refused. So that's why from the start, everyone has seen it. It's been a very, very steady growth. If you see our chart, it pretty much does that. It never does that, you know. And once we're gonna want it to do that, it's because we're ready for it to do that. Because if you have a big whale and it does that, then he sells and then he takes, I would say, a big part of the liquidity with him, then, you know, first it's going to create panic sellers, then it will create flooding, then it will, you know, it will be terrible. So for that reason, we're steady, we're growing steadily. We know who has a lot of tokens and who don't. We've spoken with everybody that has a lot of tokens, and everybody that's still from pre-sale. There's a lot of people from pre-sale that are out, and those people, they purchased at 0.00003. So that's about, I'd say, 100 times from what the price we are now, or 50-ish. We know who has a lot of tokens. We know how much they're holding, and we know their play in the community. Now, the biggest whales that we have are part of our team. So everybody that has, when I say whale, it's like more than $5,000 that purchase, and then they wanted to be part of the team. So we brought them in so that we grow the team, and, you know, it's best interest for them as well, because they're invested in the project. So we got them in, and everybody's helping, and it's been months. We're sticking to the same team until the next step. Now, all our team is very close now. We know everybody by name. We know where they live. And the community as well know everybody by name, and they're used to them. And I think that's the perfect thing. The only thing that's adding is more developers that help us. And those, it's fine because they don't have admin access. It's pretty much just developer access. So they could work on the stuff, upload it on GitHub, and that's it, you know. Sorry, I went a little sideways with my answer, but that's my answer.
Thank you,
Oh,
Matthew.
thank you very much. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. No, you do this, Monica.
And our next panelist will be Akiri.
Good
I
evening,
like that
everyone. Thank you. And thank you, Matt, for joining us tonight. My name is Akiri. I'm a recent graduate from the University of California, Riverside, where I studied psychology. And currently I'm working on a postdoc to apply to the School of Medicine at UCR. My first question is, who were your most influential mentors as you went from being novice in crypto to where you are today?
That's a very difficult question for me, because I've always had business mentors in the business world where everything is centralized. Of course, I'm not saying that crypto is not a business, but honestly, I was leading on my own for the crypto. I was leading, didn't have a mentor for crypto, to be honest. It was me, and I think I did a good job. Yeah. I took what I knew from the business world, and I applied it on this other world. And yeah, I was a CEO. I still am, for the travel app. So I have the experience of running things, especially apps, making sure everything gets done. Very, very aggressive on getting things done, and they have to be amazing. Because I believe that if we don't have a product that's amazing, we don't have a product at all. Because people, they're very, very easy to dodge off your app if it's laggy, if it doesn't work. Now ours, we're making a great thing, but we're building it also, and we're releasing, testing. But I believe if people, you know, like let's say Uber, for instance, if it wasn't fluid as much, or it was laggy, or it wasn't easy to use, it wouldn't be as popular. So it has to be dummy proof and easy to use, as well as very well built. So that if there's changes, we just go in the file, we change it, resubmit, save, that's it, you know. So it answers your question. Again, I went a little bit sideways, but I was my mentor, fortunately, for this venture. So yeah.
No, it's an excellent answer. I think it's applicable.
Wait,
like
I want
you
to say
said,
something.
for
Sorry.
businesses.
Now, because I grew it with the help of my team, I'm getting investors from outside that are coming to me and telling me, hey, Matt, we're interested in putting $10 million into this. We're interested in putting $50 million into this. So now that it's built and it has been proven with the app and the utility, our network is being deployed right now. We're having our own network. Like Tesla have their network, we have our own network. And it's being built and it's funded. So everything is ready for the rollout. And this was my biggest stress because that's not a $10,000 investment, that's a $40 million investment. So the fact that it's funded for me, it takes a huge weight off my back. So that being said, I wanted to make sure that the real infrastructure in the real world side of things were taken care of before moving forward, because otherwise, what's the point, right? That's my answer.
I agree. Thank you. My follow-up question is, why did you choose something as specific as electrical vehicles as your area of focus?
I see the transition happening. I wanted to tap into something that was not as tapped into, like the networks, and then I took another industry that wasn't as tapped into, like crypto, and then I just put them together and I made one great thing. And the fact that I decided to take electric cars was mostly because I had an electric car, and it was very, very painful to go on a road trip and not know where I'm going to charge. So I wanted to make sure, and also the charge maps are not updated well for the other apps. Sorry, they don't give the right information on ours. Let's say if you charge on a network, I don't know if it's going to be on this update or the next one, because we can also save and add features while it's live. And basically what it does is it's going to ask you a series of questions on the charger where you just charge. And it's going to tell you, hey, was the charger working? Was it the correct rate, speed? So that other people don't drive up there and then the charger's not working and then they're like stuck with low range and then they have to call a towing truck. That little step will make sure that all the chargers are updated on the fly, and especially the unpopular locations, so that people know that, hey, last time someone was there was yesterday and it was working. So chances are today, and if someone was there today, it's going to say that it was there today, you know, the latest time. So that's a plus that they don't have on any other app like PlugShare or the random ones. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's my answer.
Thank you, Matt and Akiri. We'll be moving on to our third poll question.
Okay, so I'll answer this question again. Question 3. Cryptocurrency has real money value. So everybody has the check boxes. So very untrue, untrue, true, very true. I would say that what has real money value? Even money, I don't like the word money, first of all. I like the word currency. Currency, whether it's the US dollar or the Canadian dollar or the yen, or whatever it is, it's backed by the people using it, the treasury, how many is in circulation, the trade. So there's a lot of stuff that make up the value of some currencies. Cryptocurrency, it's basically digital currency, and it's open for everyone to create their own currency and then do whatever they want with it. Now, our currency will have a value based on what's backing it, a little bit like the countries. The countries, their dollar is mostly reflected because of the reserves of, let's say, gold or silver that they have, for instance, and the mint reserves. So that being said, this reflects to like liquidity pools in crypto. So how much does the crypto token that you're looking to invest in has in its liquidity pool versus how much is it used versus how much is in circulation determines the value of it. Now, that's why the low cap coins, whenever you buy in very early into them, you get a lot of coins, but they have low value. And then the more people use it, the more the value go up. Now, if there's only buys, only people are buying it, the value will go up dramatically because it's supply and demand. And it's the same thing with the dollar currency. It's called fiat, the fiat currency. Any fiat currency, it's the same thing. If people aren't using it, it's not moving. It goes down in value. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. If it's not moving, it's unvaluable for people, so they'll start selling, and then that's it. You know, it kills the value of the stuff. But same thing for dollars, same thing for cryptocurrency. So money, the term money is a little bit broad, but the currency is valuable if there's supply and demand and trade and people using it. And there's so many complex calculations based on the interest rate, and that makes it, gives it its values. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency again. So I think they're pretty much the same thing. It's just one, it's controlled by the people, and the other one is controlled by the issuer, which is the government. So yeah.
Thank you, Matthew. And we will be moving on to Mercy.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mercy Acosta. I'm a graduate from California Baptist University with aspirations in becoming a medical student. So I have two questions to ask. My first question is, what are some of the fears in the process of creating this essential empire, and how were you able to conquer those fears?
You mean like fears of, sorry, you mean like fears of how creating something big, or?
Yeah, just the fears, you know, in developing, just, you know, overall, what were the fears that you had? Were there fears that, and overall?
I'd say I had these fears when I was like 18 years old when I started. I started at 17, but I have to legally say 18 because in the business world in general, the fears I had was a lack of appreciation from whatever I was selling. People not liking my product, not selling anything, not being able to pay for the regular stuff that I had. When I started this project, I was very, very focused already. I had no fears whatsoever. Very sharp. I knew I was gonna take this to huge heights, so I wasn't afraid, really, to be honest. It's like I was built for this. Like, I have no fear. I could be talking to 20,000 people. I have no fear whatsoever. I don't feel stressed. I'm just trying to deliver the best content and help as many people as I can and create something of value and solving problems, because that's where the value is. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Currency. You can amass immense amount of fortunes. Me, I don't amass fortune. I reinvest it. I make my stuff better. I'll amass a fortune when I become old. You know, I don't need a fortune right now. I'm not a materialistic person. See, I don't have watches, but I can afford 10 Rolexes if I wanted to, but I don't need it. It's not something I love. So my passion is really creating, building. And that's where
I love that. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then also I wanted to briefly if you can briefly describe the steps in becoming a CEO.
I don't think there's steps to becoming a CEO. You just become, you start a company, and you're the CEO of your company immediately. I guess there's nobody to take your place, right? You're the only guy there. I think you start mostly as a founder because you're alone, and then you forge yourself into the person you want to become. CEO is an employment position. It's basically just saying that you're the highest executive in the company. I think wherever you are, you have the chance to start a business, be your own CEO. It's going to cost you $300 to $500 to incorporate a business, and then you're the CEO of your business. You can even give yourself a title, but if nothing is moving forward, you're the CEO. I'm sorry to say that, but you'll be the CEO of nothing. You know, You have to grow something into the thing that the company has to move into, has to go into a direction. I personally think, yes, I'm the founder and CEO, but I think everybody on my team is the CEO, because everybody's part of it. So I don't really claim myself to be a title. I think everybody's the boss in my team, because everybody's important and talented. So there's many guys in my team that are more talented than me, and I'm more talented than them in something else. So it's you become the person you want to be once you're focused, and you forge yourself into that person. You have to eliminate a lot of fears. You have to, what's best for your company, how to move forward. You know, the starting is very difficult, and then once you grow and get known, then it's much easier.
Thank you so much. I love all your words. Great words. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mercy, and thank you, Matt. We'll go ahead and move forward with our fourth poll question.
I can answer that question very quickly. Crypto is primarily used for legal purposes. Very untrue, true, or very true. I think that it's a little bit of half-half, because before crypto, how are people transferring funds, wires, cash? So I think that they're using that channel to transfer drugs or whatever illegal things they're doing. I think that it's actually the worst channel to do it, because everything's trackable, everything's on the blockchain. So it's not like it was hidden. Like you could, if I toss a bag of cash, take it, leave, and then that's it. It's forgotten. But crypto, everything's on the blockchain. You can see everything. It's very easy to track. And they think that the authorities don't have the means to understand that. No, they have experts that can track everything. So maybe it was before, but I think that right now it's very difficult. It would be very difficult for them. So, but I mean, if someone's sending a payment for whatever it is, let's say a picture of a donkey, for instance, and that donkey is an illegal picture, and they could make sure that that person got the funds, because it's guaranteed in crypto. There's no bullshit around crypto. If you send a transfer, you just send the transaction hash, then the person knows that you send the money. They will receive it, and that they received it, because the confirmations are available on the blockchain. So I think that cryptocurrency is giving the power for everything to be open and transparent. So that's my answer.
Thank you, Matthew. And our next panelist will be George.
Hi, Matthew. My name is George. I am currently finishing up my bachelor's degree in biology at UCR with hopes of becoming a future physician and getting into med school this year. So my first question is, thank you. My first question is, I was wondering, what do you want people to focus on when they are considering purchasing EVDC?
I've been saying from the start, if you're purchasing our token to make fast money, it's not something for you, because it's not where we're headed. It's very steady. We're taking the time to grow it properly. If you want to invest into a real company, a real corporation that has a crypto utility to it, then we could be one of the rare picks out there. It's physical. You could really download our app. Once our chargers are live, you could charge on our chargers, on our superchargers. It's real, So I would say that if you're interested in placing, making a bet, not a high risk bet, I would say we could be a good pick for you. But I can't tell you to invest in it or promise you anything. But we are working super hard, and we know where we're headed. So if you're looking for that, and a company that has a solid founder, then we could be your pick. Could. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And then my second question is, what do you think are some potential or some drawbacks and advantages of the blockchain network?
I think the advantages is pretty much everything's public, so nothing hidden. If somebody has a question about a transaction, they just let everyone know, you know. Disadvantages is, as I said, because it's public, because it's decentralized, you have to be very careful where you send your funds. You could lose them. And I think this is the only disadvantage, but it's like a twin sharp blade. You know, you could cut with it, you could cut yourself. So it's very difficult to have a perfect system. So I would say power to the people, but make sure you guys know what you're doing. So that's all.
Thank you for your answers.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, George. And I will go ahead and launch our 5th poll question.
Crypto is easy to hack. So I'll answer this question. I think it's true in some way. Depends who's hacking. Now, whenever it's like on big exchanges or decentralized stuff, like not decentralized stuff, like big chains or forks, it's more difficult. People will try to find loopholes through apps like Trust Wallet or MetaMask, and they'll send you like a phishing link. Then if you click it, you give access to that party, to your funds. But in terms of hacking the blockchain itself, I think once it's deployed, it's very difficult to get into it. That's why it's decentralized. Otherwise, it wouldn't be decentralized. It would be decentralized with conditions. So that's my answer.
Thank you, Matt. And our next panelist is Diana.
Hello, Matt, and thank you once again for being here with us. My name is Diana Monke, and I'm currently a 4th year at UC Berkeley studying anthropology and aspiring to go into a PhD program for medical anthropology. So my first question that I have for you today is, what is the end goal that you envision for EVDC?
Or supercharger rollout, locations everywhere around the world. People to charge their cars in 10 minutes or less. Easy to charge. Or a token to be on multiple exchanges, part of the big tokens. Sorry, altcoins. Those are pretty big goals, I think. That's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now, getting everything out there and making sure that everything is into concrete. You know, that's my my analogy.
Thank you. So for my last question I have for you is, in a previous interview you had with Karine from Cali, you briefly mentioned that EVDC could have been created without the use of crypto. Could you elaborate more on that and why you ultimately chose to implement crypto regardless?
As there are a lot of chargers out there and they have no use of crypto, we could have been one of them, but I decided to do things my way and grow much faster because I think whenever you build something around a trend, you're setting a trend. And I set a trend because of the EV market and cryptocurrency. So now we became trendsetters. And it's amazing to have the support. And I thought that by doing that, I would have a lot of support from people because I know that out there, there's a lot of people that don't believe in the current system and they are looking for alternatives. And I decided to create an alternative in regards of the project that I wanted to build, which was electric stations. By the way, I want to say something. We're one of the 10 few companies that have a charge map and physical hardware. And well, that makes us the only company that has cryptocurrency, charge map, and physical hardware. So I'd say we're in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, you definitely are. Thank you for your response.
You are as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you both. at this point, we're going to go ahead and move on to our sixth poll question.
I'm gonna answer that question. Cryptocurrencies are only for trading and investing. Very untrue, true, or very true. I'd say it's like the fiat currency, the forex exchange market. You could trade dollar for dollar, the US dollar for the Canadian dollar, a little bit like cryptocurrencies, but you could also buy a car with money. You could buy a car with cryptocurrency. It only depends on who the end supplier is, who you're purchasing from. Do they accept cryptocurrency or not? Not too long ago, you could buy a Tesla with cryptocurrency. So it's not only investing, you could purchase goods. What is the regular currency for if it's not to buy stuff? It's the same thing with cryptocurrency, and that's what gives it its potential. That answers my question. Sorry, your question.
Thank you, Matt, for your response. At this time, we're going to go ahead and move on to Erica.
Hi, Matt. Thank you once again for sharing with us your knowledge. My name is Erica, and I'm a recent graduate at the University of California, Riverside, where I majored in psychology as well. Maybe you have noticed I have a twin sister named Kiri, who's also in this meeting. But my future goals are to give back to my community as a physician. And my first question is, how did you balance your time with starting EVDC?
What I did is because most of the market, most of the community was overseas because I'm in North America. Instead of dealing during the day, I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning and I would go to the office and then arrive at around 5. And then instead of drinking or doing my exercise in the morning, I used to do it at the office. And that gave me until, let's say, 11 to noon. And then I would work on some other stuff. That's how I managed it. I started my days very, very early in order to manage both. So
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for sharing.
And it's been 7 days a week thing. It has been a long time since I haven't had a day off. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So my second question is, if you could go back and change one thing, what would that be and why?
That was a very good question. If I could go back and change, when you say like about crypto or my about the project or like my habits, or
I would say both.
I'd say I can't tell, honestly. I think it's perfect the way I did it. Like, I wouldn't change anything. I think I did my best. I took a series of right decisions. And even if I took wrong decisions, I think that there's a reason why I took them. And I always end up seeing the light of why I took that decision. And I don't regret anything, to be honest. So I don't have to change anything. It's perfect the way it is. Not perfect as a product, but for me, in my eyes, I just go with it, react to it, deal with it, and that's pretty much how I operate. So I don't overthink stuff. If it's yesterday, it's yesterday. I'm thinking about tomorrow, thinking about in 10 years. So that's pretty much my answer. You
Thank
have
you for
a
sharing.
counter answer to my answer, or?
No, that was perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Matthew, for your very honest response. Let's go ahead and move forward with our 7th poll question.
Well, that brings us back to question number 4, I think. Does cryptocurrency has real money value? Because the way people see it in the world is everyone's operating around currency. They all want to know, what's the value? You have something that's worth something like $1 million and it's not worth $1 million in the real world. People aren't going to pay attention to it because people constantly have this stick of following the value of things in regards of money. what's the value in dollars, what's the value in US dollars. So I'd say it's based on who's evaluating it, but I think that cryptocurrency has a direct reflection of value in dollars. That's what people are looking for. They want to know what's the value in dollars. You know, unless you could trade a coin for a banana every day of the week, I don't see why people would operate otherwise.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you to our audience for participating in this poll. We greatly appreciate your participation. Our next panelist is Parash.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for taking the time once again to answer our questions. To continue on, my name is Parash Bogda. I'm a fourth-year neuroscience major at the University of California, Riverside. I'm also taking a minor in finance. And it is my goal to matriculate into medical school this year and hopefully become a physician. So my first question is, how do you think the crypto market will look in a few years? Do you think more people will begin to utilize crypto as a currency?
Of course, because I think that the more we're getting into the world of digital and NFTs and paying with your phone and all that stuff, people are going to look for better ways to pay, better ways to trade. It has always been like that. So, I mean, look at 5 years ago where Bitcoin was and look at now. So you can see there's a sort of trend getting set. And the adoption of Bitcoin has increased, and that's why the price eventually increases, I would say. So you can see that it's something that is moving forward, and the good news is we're barely tapping into it. You know, not less than 10% of the whole world is into it. So if there's a peak, it's not soon. You know, we're not even into market saturation. So that brings me to the fact that I don't believe that people will not continue adopting it. What I believe is that we're gonna have more and more projects coming out, and that will be reflecting crypto, and that will give people the freedom to pay either way. And most of the time, I think people will prefer crypto for many reasons. Yeah, that's my answer. Is it okay, or you want me to keep going?
You're good. Thank you so much for your answer. That helps me a lot understanding crypto for the future. But
Do you have another question?
Yeah, I have another question. So this is gonna be a little personal. So how did you get into crypto? And what are some aspects of cryptocurrency that inspire you or that kind of like interests you the most?
As I said, like one of the first questions, I believe that cryptocurrency has a lot to do with how I operate. The freedom that it gives me to be able to operate in a decentralized world is what I like about it. I mean, there's no limit of how big you can create. There's no limit of how far you can go. So I would say it's really up to the person that's launching a project or starting a hobby or a career in crypto. I would say you could earn a living with crypto. So there's a lot of traders, NFTs traders, they're earning a living out of crypto. So I would say that it's the new thing getting adopted by people. Because of that, I would say yes, you want to get into it because of how decentralized it is, but you have to explore a lot before you could start making moves in the crypto world and understand. And that was the hard part for me. So I got into the world of crypto pretty much like that, and building into this world is very long and difficult, but I'm managing it the best I can, to be honest. Sorry, I like went sideways a bit with your question, but that's my answer.
You're fine. Thank you so much, Matt.
Are you studying to become a physician?
Yeah.
Are you gonna accept crypto?
I'm trying to dabble here and there.
You're gonna accept crypto as form of payment. I mean, you just have to declare it as an income. You're taxed and that's it.
Sorry?
you'll be taxed on that income as if you earned $100. You can earn $100 in Bitcoin. What's cool about it is we're there. You know, you could actually, someone will actually say, hey, I'll pay you $100 in Bitcoin for your therapy session, you know? So
Smart. That's smart. I'm going to implement that.
yeah, you'll
Thank
be
you
different.
so much, Matt.
Maybe you're gonna get the big boys on the block, the guys that you never know. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Matt. And we will be moving on to our next poll question.
I answered this one earlier. Cryptocurrency can be used to purchase things. Yes, as long as the person you're purchasing it from accepts the payment method, I guess it's not an issue. That's for that question. Yeah, I answered it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And our next panelist will be Lida.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending this meeting and thank you for being here, Matt. My name is Lida. I'm a fourth year health science major and my career goal is to become a physician assistant and I attend California Baptist University. I have a couple questions I'd like to ask you. The first question I have for you is, do you have any competitors?
I would say before yes, now no, because we're the only one that has a currency, a hardware infrastructure, and a charge map.
Thank you for sharing. And the second question I have is, what is the end goal for EVDC?
Supercharger rollout, mass adoption of the currency and the superchargers, mass adoption of the app. Pretty much those are my goals, and those are pretty difficult goals. So I would say that's my answer.
Thank you for your responses.
My pleasure.
And thank you to you both. Since Lida is our last panelist, we have two poll questions for our audience.
Cryptocurrency blockchain technology is useful for green solutions. Yes, I believe it is useful because there's ways of, first of all, you're eliminating cash money. So already that you don't have to go through the whole process of creating the money, the currency. So that right there, I would say it's already, useful as a better alternative. And all you need is your phone. So you don't need a wallet or any other stuff. So you don't need to carry anything else. So I would say yes, but some practices in cryptocurrency require a lot of electricity and a lot of mining, and it can be very hectic. But I think that if it's well regulated and controlled, it could be efficient. That's my answer.
Thank you, Matthew. And we have one last poll question.
Of course. Sure. So that's that question. Cryptocurrency blockchain technology is useful for health solutions. I would say, like any other service, if you purchase a service or a session with a doctor and you pay him with Bitcoin, I mean, if he accepts it, then yes, it could be helpful, useful because it's going to be used as a form of payment. But other than that, I don't see how cryptocurrency can help someone that's sick or help the hospitals or the healthcare industry. Maybe it could help transitioning if you have, let's say if you have to pay for a medical bill or something, you could pay with cryptocurrency. It could be easier than running it on a credit card. But other than that, I don't see how it could improve. If I ever think of some way, I'll let everyone know.
No, and Matt, this has been phenomenal. The only thing that I would add is that, brother, I know that you may be aware that hospitals and insurance companies have been using blockchain technology to better both store medical records. Huh?
Oh, yes. In
right.
terms
So
of the blockchain, so that everything's decentralized and safe. Yes, I would say that.
That was
probably.
it.
But I was mostly thinking of the whole currency trading infrastructure.
Right.
That was how the question was formulated. But yes, in terms of store data, and yeah, it could be helpful.
So I want to say this, man, this was phenomenal. We've already gone over time. And I know that for me, this was rich, and I've learned a lot about crypto over the years. I feel like everyone else here probably learned some new things for themselves. The beautiful thing about it was we heard great things about innovations that Matt has given rise to that can inspire many of us to do a variety of different things with crypto. It looked like we got a pretty good audience as well, because I know that for the registration, we had about 115 people actually registered. Normally, when you do anything, you probably expect at least 33% of people to show up. We had about 48 people in the room most of the time. The only other thing that I want to stress is that there were wonderful questions posed in the chat, but I think most of those questions are suitable for your AMA, Matt. So just like this recording, what we'll do is we'll make that available to your beautiful team and make sure that we keep this relationship going. Thank you for making our first interview with an expert, crypto expert, so successful. I hope that you guys come back and support us for other events. I know that we're already 16 minutes over time and Matt's got a flight to catch. Brother, thank you, man. Please get some rest. Family, thank you guys for asking such wonderful questions. And audience, you've been amazing. I think we made some new friends. Ahmed, we're going to reach out and connect, my brother. And so if anyone else doesn't have anything, no, we're good.
I'm looking, Kendrick, I'm looking forward.
By all means, because I think we're doing great things in the community and great things in the world. And then that we met through this wonderful project, it shows that we're thinking alike.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time, and especially on a Friday night or wherever you are, it may be Saturday morning, especially that you've taken the time, and you could be anywhere in the world with us, but you're here, man, it's lovely. And so thank you. I thought this was awesome. You guys, please have a beautiful evening. Safe travels, Matt. We'll be in touch, man, and we'll share that date and everything else. You guys are awesome. Wonderful time. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you to our beautiful audience. Have a great evening.
Dr. Davis, can we hold back and have a little chat?
Sure. Do you want me to, you want to do a sale?
Either or, whoever. I mean, since Maria's on the call, I mean, just a quick little update would work.
We'll stay on it.
Perfect.
Take care, family.
Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Please, yes. Safe travels.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, thank you, brother.